Hello, dummies. How's it going? It's been a while. I'm sorry about that. I started this. I started this under the assumption that I'd be here once a week, and I get that. I'd like to. I try to. Had a lot of stress. A lot of things go on. Now you wouldn't believe this and you do. I am stressed all the fucking time. Okay, got like anxiety disorders, panic attacks about bullshit, whatever. I start fucking. I usually get a little teary-eyed. I freak out a little bit. Okay. So I've been dealing with a lot of that this week. Just really putting in all my effort to get through the day. I have a job. I know some of you are probably like, this guy just sits around and waits to get the courage to kill himself. But my secondary purpose is working. I'm not bringing as much as I'd like, so I'll get there eventually. But this week, I've been trying to keep up on like current events and things. Kyle Rittenhouse, new celebrity. That's fun. I didn't have to chain myself to his mother. I'm very happy about that. His mother and I are happy about that. So, I mean, who cares? I'm not right about any of it. If you're watching this to wonder, so you can figure out if Kyle Rittenhouse is right, you're retarded. So, it is what it is. What I was thinking about, though, was a type of person that does interest me. People with really loud bass in their cars. Have you ever seen these people? There usually is something a little bit wiry to them, you know? I had one guy, he was in my high school. He was a cool kid. He was very fun, very buff, like oddly buff, a lot of facial hair. But he'd like have bass speakers so big and loud that he had to warm up his car in the winter before turning them on, because they would literally fucking like shatter from being frozen and like the tension on them or whatever bullshit. I don't know, but it's insane. It's crazy to me that like people just ride around with high bass. Okay, I've never understood it. Like it was like, I know back in the day you used to hear about noise complaint stuff like on like cops and stuff. There's like, this car can be heard from 2 blocks away, and that's actually illegal in the city of whatever bullshit. And now people are just riding around with cars that vibrate your house as they drive by, you know? Like, and I get it, just feels like an invasion on everyone else if things are lifting off the ground when you drive by. You know? You're not an alien. Hey, why is your hair bouncing on your way to Kmart? What are we doing here? That's like whenever you'd see like people in fucking hydraulic ass cars jumping down the block, and you're like, hey, you're just going to get a Lucy? Calm down. Alright? And I get it. I do. I'm an active driver. I have a little party in my car, turn up the music, I have a good time. I get it. But why are you jumping your car 3 feet in the air excited? There's like one day a year you get, like, and I'll let it be not your birthday, and you get your birthday for as a free space. You get one day a year to bounce around in a car 3 feet fucking high, shaking down the street, pissing everyone off behind you because you're going slow as hell. Okay? In the same sense, why? Or like you see those guys and you're like, hey man, every screw in your car is being shaken loose. I had that buddy in high school. His car, we'd find loose bolts everywhere. I'm like, hey, bro, you're falling apart. The shit just rattles so much that the bolts literally just vibrate in and out of their plate. Like, it's hard to I mean, I guess if you understand like sound and things, sure, you probably get it. But what the fuck? But do you get why people like that? Like, why not just get vibrating seats? Hey, let's just get vibrating seats and listen to fucking music, huh? Because what? Huh? Because what the fuck are we fucking with the bass and the like? As soon as like you're like, it'll always start off pretty. It'll be like some girl singing up high, and then it's and then some bitch like their hair bouncing in the car. What are we doing? And it's always some fucking dude that's like fucking. One of my friends just told me he had a car like that. I just remembered. Oopsie. It is what it is, and it's not my fault. I'm still right. Okay. but fucking like it'll be people that are just like kind of half nerdy, and you're like whatever, and like, oh dude, I just saw the best fucking video. It's this dude and it's a picture of this girl. So it's very nice because at first you get to form a picture, because like, and it happens naturally. It's almost like a quiz that anyone could take. But you just see this woman sitting in a car, and she's just waiting, just sitting there. She's not really sure what to do. I think she had like cat ears on or some shit, and she had some other thing going on. And you're like, okay, what's the reciprocal of that? If she's what? Cat girl wearing a furry sweater equals bass car with too much bass plus. You know, like they're setting up this algebra equation in your head where you're like, okay, we know this guy's got too much bass in his car and doesn't care about anything or anyone else's sanctity of their lives. So what does he look like? And so like this girl's just sitting there and she's just looking around. She looks like she would talk like this. And it's like literally fucking like, and then her shit just starts fucking like everywhere, and she's like she looks like a scared fucking animal. She looks like a scared. The cat ears are nice because it shows that she looks like a scared rodent. She looks like a scared squirrel or some type of small rodent that just doesn't know what to do because there's a fucking earthquake. Okay? Turn down your bass, okay? Those are the people. Hey, okay? Listen, you see those fucking cars drive down the wrong way and accidentally get into a protest, okay? Fuck that, okay? Fuck that. How is the price of driving the wrong way on the fucking road that 12 people get in your car? How is that the price? How is the price of driving the wrong way on the road that 12 people jump on your car and shove their ass on your windshield? I'm seeing videos of people, they're like, we're protesting, you can't drive here. These retards brought a car to a protest. You think they care about your means of transportation? And then people will be like, I'll take on this car. Are you retarded? Any amount of, you're dead, done, see you later. No, how is it that you could just drive the wrong way and people bounce on your fucking car and just fucking stomp on your shit like it's the goddamn apocalypse? It's not. It's just a street they decided you couldn't drive on. Hey, I'll tell you what. When somebody comes by and you just hear the bass too loud, shove your ass on their windshield. Go fucking punch their car and tell them to stop because they're fucking up America. Go do that. Not these fucking elderly people with dementia who are just trying to get home. You know? God damn. You just see these, like, who cares? These protesters are retarded. Do you think that man in that Prius is against Black Lives Matter? He's too pussy to have a real car. He can't even use gasoline right. You think he cares? What are we doing here? Why? What is it? You know? Am I wrong? Maybe. I'm probably wrong. I'm stupid. Hi. I'm young and dumb, and I'm fucking retarded. Okay? I get it. But what are we doing? You get into a protest to be peaceful and to tell people that you want to make the world better, right? No, you do it because you want to be shot at by cops, because you want to get fucking clout, because you want to take pictures, because you want somebody to wrong you so you can run up and deck them in the face, because that's what you deserve to do to somebody. It's never about what the country needs. It's never about anyone else. It's what you deserve to enact upon somebody. That's the thing, is people just want you to break your rights. Just the same way with Kyle Rittenhouse and all this shit with the self-defense, whatever. People just want you to break their rights so they can shoot you, because everyone's walking around like, can I kill somebody? Hey, I've spent a few years not doing it. Can I kill somebody? That's what it is. Every fucking American in the whole world. It is what it is. They're in other countries just hoping to kill people. Okay? It doesn't even, no one cares. But that's because as soon as a Prius is looking you in the fucking face, you think it's voting Republican. It's a Prius. Let it go. Whatever. Jump any car that has their bass boosted, jump on them until they're not. Okay? That's the call to action. Alright? So, I know some people, like, you know, everyone's kind of watched Dexter or heard of Dexter. It's if you haven't, basically, you just find some scene girl. She'll tell you about it, that she loves him, but she's gay everywhere else. It'll be girls that are bisexual, but when they say bisexual, they only want to fuck the serial killer Dexter. Things like that. But it's a fun show. It's cool. It's a good time. And it's basically a guy who he tracks down people that deserve to die, and then he kills them brutally, painfully, and with a lot of like poetic justice. It is a wronged person's show. So like if you see someone that's traumatized, they've seen Dexter because it feels safe. It feels like you're like, he's gonna make them pay for it, whatever, you know. It was a good show, sincerely. A lot of mystery to it. I enjoyed it. I think they even revived it. I don't know why, but I believe they had. But it turns out that it was actually based on a real person, and the guy's name on YouTube at least is Pedrino Matador. It's like Pedro Filo or something like that. Whatever. Oh God, no, it's not. It's not Pedro Filo. It can't be. No, I don't know. But his name. His name is Pedrino Matador. All right, that's for sure what it is. Basically. He would kill serial killers, drug dealers, which, drug dealers, I'm like, you know, like, I mean, maybe, but come on. Human traffickers and things like that. People who deserved it, he'd say. He had 70 to 100 kills, like, that he claims, right? And not only that, he killed his father, like, goddamn, like a Skywalker. He killed his father. I believe even in revenge for some shit that the father had done to his mother. But basically, this man, and now he only speaks Spanish, so I have yet to watch the videos. It takes a little more effort than just listening to him while you're chilling, but I want to watch them. He talks about these acts, these things. He was in a certain prison for so long, but I believe due to some technicality or law in the country that he was held, I didn't research this well, he was let out early. So now he's doing fucking podcasts and shit. He's telling people about this. He killed his father in prison. It's crazy as fuck. Like, the most vengeful man. And it is weird to see people, like, back in the day, the stories would always end like the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever bullshit. It would always end with like some guy dying because they can't outrun the new young up-and-comer. There's always somebody else. You're never. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs was another one where it's all about this guy who's like the main character, and then he dies, and it's like, oh yeah, people can still go, and people have their time where they are these great people, but at the same time they still eventually end up old and decrepit and dying. You know, we all get there, and so this man has this unique opportunity where he can just go somewhere else now. He's just somewhere else, living a peaceful life as a YouTuber, just talking on podcasts and things. Not really a whole YouTuber. People are saying he's a YouTuber to oversell the story, but as a guy, as an influencer, truly, he's a serial killer influencer. Those are the new thing, and he's just making his own living, like in living peacefully in a serial killer's retirement, because that is the world we live in. As long as you're cool enough, you get to live. It is insane. But I mean, I guess, but I just can't imagine, like, if you're like 8, you're like, I want to do what he did. You know, like if you're like 8, you're like, I want to kill my dad and be a serial killer. You know, like, you got to, dude. Like, there's no way you see that and you're like, I want to be a banker. You know, like, hell no. But yeah, it's just very interesting that, like, we're just in the world where you can kill somebody, get sentenced to like a long time in jail, and then just end up YouTube famous. You know, like, as an influencer. It's nice to know that's out there. If you ever do something terrible enough in another country, figure it out. But you got it. You know, go to wherever he was or whatever the law was. You know, find a technicality. Or, I mean, I guess, you know, OJ. I mean, he's doing it. You know, he's an influencer. He's happy. He's got a lot of money. There's another thing that I wanted to cover that was a little bit more serious than any of this, but it was just a lot of reflection on the pandemic, things about it, how it made people feel about each other, and things like that. And one thing I really started to realize was that people thought other people had done things to them. You know, like, people were saying this wouldn't have happened if it weren't for the anti-vaxxers. What are you talking about? And I get it. You look and you see the people in Congress that are like, vaccines are bad. I get it. I do get it. But anti-vaxxers are a symptom of a country that is too corrupt to trust and wants you dumb. Alright? I get it. But we all talk about how like how this sounds conspiracy and all this, but I get that. But we all talk about how we wish we were taught different things in school. We wish there was other things that we had learned about this, like, and or like it's even coming out now where we have this political elite and people that are literally just like fucking these sex slaves for blackmail. You know, like it came out that Ghislaine Maxwell had sucked George Clooney's dick at like some place as, I'm sure, blackmail to get him to pay for whatever, do whatever, come out, do whatever. But it's just like, these are all symptoms of a sick society. If we had people who held other people accountable, if we didn't have so much money in politics, if we didn't have people donating hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, Jeff Epstein donating thousands of dollars to the fucking Florida police department so that they'll tell him when they're coming to arrest him the day before. Things like that. Like, it's just, there's so many things that people go, well, this is the Florida police department's fault. No, this is because we have no accountability as individuals or as people. Okay? We don't. There's no professionalism anywhere, and no one fucking cares. No one's fucking working. No one has a job they're proud of. No one feels like an American. And like, I get it. There's times that have been like this, but like, to think that the anti-vaxxers did something? No, they're fucking dumbasses. Anyone who's like, and it's the same way that people, and I'm not saying that they're the worst, because it's no different than the Herman Cain Award. Whenever people are like, well, if you say vaccines are bad and you die, oopsies, ha ha ha, we laugh at your death now. You see how it's like, oh, so you get to laugh at their death because they did something to you? Or are these the same fucking people who don't vote and haven't shown up to a protest? Or if they did, they were on a fucking hover round and they didn't change anyone's opinion. It's just so weird to look at your fellow man who you're supposed to be bettering this country for them, not yourself. But everyone forgets that. It's all about what you can do for yourself and then give to everyone else. But let's make sure my plate's full. If you get everyone else in the country food, but you're left without it, everyone they'd rather be like, 99% of people would say, I'd rather everyone else go without if I have to. They would. And that's because, whatever, I don't know. You know why? Because I'm retarded and I'm dumb and I'm probably just the same. I'd probably do the same fucking shit. I wouldn't want to. I'd like to think I fucking want it, but it is what it is. I wasn't necessarily anti-vaccine, but I didn't go about doing any of that shit because it's not fucking worth sticking your fucking neck out for an opinion of some random fucking dude that's just on there, some fucking Keebler elf that's just telling everyone about whatever. I might have to cut this out because I don't know if, but like, it's the same way that like Fauci is now an influencer. What are we doing here? We're just giving him money for being on TV? It's just a ridiculous notion. So, once again, people are as dumb as the government wants them. So whenever you look at people and you're like, why are people so fucking stupid? Understand that is a shortcoming of the government, okay? And I get it, why you're frustrated with people because they are dumb. What you need to show people in school is how big the world is. You need to explain that, and you need to make sure they know that math is so big that they'll never get it. That if they studied for the rest of their lives at max capacity, they could never get it. Sure, you can go be some quantum physicist. You can figure it almost all out in your one specific field, but there's a field just adjacent that's a whole new door that you'll never be able to get to if you fully understand one. There's only so much time. But people nowadays go, I don't like math. They don't even think about the other fractions, algebra, like anything else deeper in that, like geometry, anything. It's just math, numbers. I've decided to cut out numbers. The average American is as dumb as people want them to be. All right, and that's how I feel. A lot of the people who set up these education things and who do all this stuff also give a lot of money to the media, the same way that the same people who produce the vaccines do. And that's all I have. I'm not saying they're good or bad or that they fuck you up, because I don't really think they do. I've gotten a few, and sometimes you get sick, but that's fucking life. And sometimes you just get sick regardless, or you were going to anyways, or you weren't feeling good, and that's why you thought about getting one. It's not, nobody fucking knows. It just, God. It's been a stressful week. I'm sorry I'm yelling. All right? I'll probably cut a lot of this out. I'll probably live my life. But the other part of this is like, education by itself is everywhere, correct? You can go to the library, you can go to YouTube. It's free and it's cheap in some cases. Or you have to go to school and things like that. But education is there. A lot of times, though, it is used as a class border. So, like, it's there to show people, like, okay, for example, if you have the financial resources to go to college and the mental resources and the resources it takes to keep you in line as a person, having not as much stress, having the time to do homework and things, you are already automatically doing better, because there's a lot of people who don't have those. Those things are usually used not on purpose, but for example, I had a lot of issues with my mental health and my financial situation during college. I did not have a counselor because I could not afford therapy. All right. So I took up drug dealing and I started selling marijuana. I did it for like less than 24 hours. And I was arrested and put in jail. It's embarrassing. Okay. What's even more embarrassing is that my grandmother, I think that same day, told me that she hopes whatever happens so that I find my way to Jesus. Basically being like, if you get cancer tomorrow, I hope you get saved so you go to heaven, and that's all I care about anymore. Like, it's basically them writing you off and being like, whatever happens, Lord have him. And so I ended up going to jail and stuff. And so that was my way of trying to figure it out. I didn't have enough money to go to therapy to talk to people and figure out that that wasn't the right thing to do. I couldn't talk to my parents because you can't be like, hey, I'm considering drug dealing, you know? You can't figure that out. So what you have to do is you have to just assume that that might be your only option eventually until you break down and get in trouble, or until you break down and skip class, until you break down and, or whatever else. Like, there's a lot of barriers put there because education is meant to be a barrier between you and other people. And I get that. I get that, but it's also it's just very odd. We could have a very different world. I'd much rather have a world where everyone's specialized for a small thing that they think way too hard into than that no one's specialized for everything so that it gives us people to whack a hammer sometimes. I'd much rather have people equipped around me. I mean, I think that's what we see a lot of times, and especially what's kind of made me frustrated over this week is that not a lot of people are equipped to deal with things, and I know I'm not either, and it makes it harder to go into a week when you know that there's no one around you that's really being helped. Something interesting, too, about college and things. I had one teacher, she was an African American, she had helped me write some papers and stuff. I really wanted to learn in college. That is really, truly all I wanted to do. And so, basically, one time we had kids sit up, they were talking about how Trump's bad. I think I've told this story before, but they were talking about how Trump called Mexicans murderers and rapists. That's what the thesis was. And I said, I get that. But what I was telling them is, I believe them. If you held a vote right now, everyone in this room would vote, yeah, that's what we believe. What I'm saying is that you don't have to convince us, because most of us aren't going to vote anyways, and we're not even barely on your side. We're just voting what everyone else is voting. You have to convince the people in that room who applauded him after that. That's who you have to convince. So maybe don't fucking say the things they're applauding. Figure out ways to make them think, this isn't right. Instead of getting your friend next to you to be like, good opinion, you know? I had said that, and the teacher had, in front of everyone, decided that, and told everyone, like, oh, you must be a closeted Trump supporter. You like Donald Trump, but you're scared to say it. Interesting. In the classroom, after that, across the way, it was a long ways away, there's a community college. This is what you get for going to community college. They'll be like, it's not the same, and then teachers will be like, this guy's fucking gay. Like, it's not. They just literally bully you. I had this teacher who I'm about to tell the story about. He literally came up to me one time, sat down. This man is morbidly obese. Okay, I'm putting morbid in there. The BMI scale probably has something higher. Okay, I'm saying it looked morbid. It made me think about death to see how fat this man is. Okay, and he sits his fat ass next to me. This man looks from behind like the silhouette of a bowl of cottage cheese, okay? And he looks at a woman passing by who, albeit, also has an ass slightly of some sort of cottage cheese texture, okay? And he goes, Jesus. She's wearing tights. He goes, Jesus. I thought she would have known to leave those at home. And just gets up and literally, like a COPD patient, and fucking hobbles away, alright? With no fucking self-awareness that, like, he's literally one, like, meal away from a hover round, alright? And the same teacher, alright, this is a speech teacher, alright? And he tells you, do something you want to learn about. I had just recently left a religion, so what I did mine was Buddhism, another religion, and evolution, something my religion was oftentimes very against. This was nothing more than me just trying things, me trying to learn about things that I was excited about. I went way over the minutes on a lot of my presentations. I oftentimes talked too much. It is what it is. But at one point, because of these presentations and their matter, he was like, you know, the center of blah blah has the fossil record has a lot of gaps in it, and I was like, where are they? Show me. And he's like, well, they're in there. I'm like, awesome. Are we fucking done here? Is this what the fuck is this? And so he's just, and he had told us he was a Republican senator. So I'm like, oh, I know you suck Jesus Christ's cock on Christmas. And so he calls me into a room. I'm passing by to go into a adjoining classroom. He calls me in a room. He's like, hey, come here. Cool. So I walk on in. There's about 20-something kids that are just sitting there staring at me. Probably more like 16, 17, honestly. Somewhere between like 15 and 20. And basically, he's like, hey, look at that. And he points on the table. I look at it on the ground. It's on the desk. I'm looking at the ground. But I look at it, and it's a Bible in 7 different languages. And I was like, oh, well, I think if you're going to study the Bible, I think if you're going to commit your life to a religion, I think it's good to understand the origins of it, where it came from, and what the people truly meant by it. And he looks at me. I'm sitting there, and he goes, this guy hates God. All right. And I'm like, cool. So I just left after all of these children were introduced. Not children, I mean, they were people my age, 19 and up, but all these fucking teens and people, adults, were fucking told that I hate God. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? And I was the closeted Trump supporting God hater, and that was me. It was just funny to be put into 2 different boxes just simply because, ooh, you know what? You don't agree with what I agree. I know where you fit. I know where you fit here, huh? No? Well, that's most convenient for me if you fit there. So that's where we're going to put you. You know? It's just very odd for people to be like, this is what you believe. And it's like, well, I don't believe shit because I'm retarded, and I'll tell anyone that, okay? This isn't a thing that I do for just you guys. I'm actively going out. I'll order a pizza wrong, and I'll be like, excuse me, ma'am, I'm retarded. You know? I have to. That's life, okay? All right? You don't get to walk out like this, talking to people, putting yourself onto people, and not going, oh, by the way, I'm a little crazy. Feel free to walk away whenever you need. All right? Education is free and should be cheap and is not hard to give. They have people that dumb for a reason, is what I'm saying. They could make people smarter at a low cost. There's also things, though, that have gone on this week that have interested me. For example, the Epstein trial. It's interesting to see the Epstein trial from afar, because now it's just the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, obviously, but it's Epstein's estate. So a lot of Epstein's estate, his record keeping and things are in there. As I had mentioned previously, Ghislaine Maxwell had sucked George Clooney's cock. allegedly in a bathroom at some sort of award show. And basically Ghislaine has been getting more and more prominent because she has pictures of her with like insane cleavage out, or like there's a picture of her like rubbing Jeff Epstein's feet with her tits all on him and shit, dude. Like, people are going ape shit, okay? But that's also because of those photos are evidence, they're also being like the reason people are paying attention to the trial. So more and more people are like, yo, check this out. But it's just so funny to see people be like they'll just look at her, like a picture of her with like her tits like halfway hanging out, and they'll be like, not guilty. It's just immediately. But it's also, whenever you see the photos of Epstein's estate, you can't help but just imagine, like, if you're a girl there. So for 99% of them, it's hell. You know? For 99% of them, they're like kidnapped or smuggled from somewhere or whatever. But there's got to be like one chick that's like, this is my fucking break. I'm ready to go to the island, you know? And she's like, oh, we're going to an island, ladies. Oh, and there's like these like Thai slaves that are like, help us, please help us, you know? And like they're like, aren't you excited, ladies? and she's just like all like blonde and bimboed up and shit, and she's like, they said there's rich men here, and like, but like as soon as you get to the island, you're like, oh, what the fuck? Like, if you see the decor on the island, there's no doubt in your mind that you have been bamboozled. Okay, whenever you look at the like poetry, like there's just sketch art of Ghislaine like across from the toilet where you shit. Imagine somebody like that was part of it where I was like, this bitch is crazy to be like, this is a nice picture of me, I'm gonna put it in the bathroom. It's insane. But and there was a few other things. There was a very odd looking bathhouse, and like and it's funny, through all these pictures they're just describing crimes that have happened here. It's like, this is where this chick was assaulted, this is where they pinned up this innocent person against a wall, this is where this person was hit with a bat. Like, it's just all around just fucking crimes of shit. And like, you could just imagine just imagine the bitch just like getting there. She's like, oh, now where do I put my bags? Oh my god, this is the room. Fuck. Stacy, what did you do? What did you fucking... It's a round trip ticket. Oh my god, this is the one way. Oh my god, you gave them your cell phone. Oh my god, they said they'd get you an iPhone. God. Like it's just, you've got to know as soon as you sit down, you're like, fuck, I don't know. Like, you've got to be having doubts. But then you see, do me a favor, Google Steven Pinker, okay? You see Steven Pinker walk around the corner and you go, yeah, this can't be it. This cannot be it. Not be it. Steven, I mean, I don't know if he did it. It'll be very interesting that he's getting appearances on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he's also like in the Epstein case, but it'll be interesting to see. The last thing too, thinking about like how truly evil Ghislaine Maxwell is and things, it's crazy to see somebody so dedicated to evil that whenever she's like in the courtroom being like talked to and judged, she's literally just drawing the sketch artist herself. What an insane move. I wanted to like almost applaud that, because that's something so crazy I wouldn't have thought of that, you know. Crazy move. But fire for being evil, bro. Like, if you're trying to be evil, fire for the evil move. Fantastic. We covered a lot of topics here today, dummies. I'm sorry I didn't have more. I'm trying to be something, you know. I'm trying to do my best for you guys, and appreciate you guys giving me a chance. Hopefully it feels good to just upload something. I'm gonna go through, listen to this, and see what's good. But thanks for being here, dummies. I hope you got something enjoyable out of this.